All right, so we should be live. So I will just do the quick check as always to make sure that we seem to be streaming fantastic. Everything looks good on that end. We'll probably see a few people come in soon. Yeah, okay, so we have 5 viewers already. That's fantastic.
Perfect.
Wonderful. So, welcome everyone who's already here, and welcome Alex. So happy to have you with us, my friend. How are you today?
Happy to be here, my friend. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm all good. It's a pleasure to meet you. For those of you who don't know, it's my first time meeting Alex. We just had a chat here for like 10 minutes before turning on the cameras. So I am truly excited to talk with Alex because when I asked on Twitter, like, hey, we're looking for creatives to do some to give some feedback live with us on stream. Who should I be talking to? Like, I got multiple recommendations from great people that I love and respect to talk to Alex. So I am extremely happy to have Alex with us here today. And my thinking is that we'll jump right into it and hear a bit about Alex's background as well. Today's focus is really to give feedback on videos, which will be very clear once we hear more from Alex. But before we jump right into it, I would just love to take a moment to mention as well that these streams where we give feedback like this are powered by Pactto. And so I've been super fortunate to be working with the Pactto team for the last few months. We have the founder right here, Demian, up and to the right, who is a wonderful guy who started this company a while ago, really inspired by being a sports person himself. So he was doing a lot of surfing, and he realized that being able to give feedback is actually super important, and it's very specific. Like you might want to do slow motion. You need some arrows. You need to do some markup and stuff to really show to coach someone. And over time, this tool kind of evolved into being really focused on giving feedback to creatives. And so for those of you who haven't tried out Pactto, it's basically like a mix between Loom, Figma, and ChatGPT. So what you can do is basically take any creative asset you can think of, images, video, website, 3D objects, and review them inside of Pactto by essentially doing a video recording where you will see your own face, very much like a Loom video. But you also have more tools that are specialized for giving great feedback. So for instance, you have some great markup tools, like you can draw arrows, you can draw circles, freehand, of course. But one of the coolest things is also that they have integrated AI deeply into this process. So once you have recorded your video and you're about to send it over, I don't know, Alex, if you've ever gotten like a Loom video of 30 minutes and you're like, oh God, now I have to take notes.
I
And
have
like,
gotten paragraphs of Google Docs.
that's exactly right. So like I've gotten like a half an hour Loom, and I've sent hundreds of them, unfortunately, for other people. What you of course have to do is kind of like, play, pause. Oh, that's interesting. Play, pause. Okay, cool. So it's really it can be kind of a pain. So what's really cool about Pactto, once you have done a recording, you can actually prompt your own video and say, much like with ChatGPT, and say, hey, turn this into a 10 bullet point action list. What was the main things I wanted to get across here? Because that's not fun to do with your own video. You just recorded it for 30 minutes. Now you're trying to figure out what you were talking about. You went in a few circles. No, it's way better. Just ask AI to do that. You've already put the information out into the world. You want to help whoever's getting it. So that is really cool. So you can send over a video plus whatever you want, like an action list. You can even create blog posts, tweets from it. And for those who want to give it a shot, you can try it for free. You can create 10 minutes long videos, whereas with Loom, I think you can only do 5 minutes with the free version. So would love for you to take a try. But right now we are super excited to get into this with Alex. And so, Alex, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and kind of your interest, which kind of led us to what we're going to be watching here today?
Yeah, of course. Alex here from DecimaLabs. DecimaLabs is a video marketing company for D2C direct-to-consumer brands and agencies who are running video ads on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and all the other platforms that that video ads are a thing. We execute the ad strategies for those brands, and I've been running my own agency for about I think we're approaching a year actually. Before that, I was working for Gary Vee
Oh,
at his media agency called VaynerMedia, and I was creating content for big brands like Ford, Tinder, Casper. I actually recorded a commercial for Tinder. I don't know. I don't even know where it went live, but that happened. So that's and I've done that for about 2 years before going all in on my own agency. This is my website that you just pulled up.
yes, exactly.
But yeah, to give I guess in relation to this, that would be the background. And now I do creative direction work at my agency, where I have team members who edit the videos for me, and I basically am the one who is giving the initial feedback to my team. So I am actually excited to check out Pacto myself after this stream. It's going to be interesting.
Super, super cool. Thank you so much. And I don't know if you noticed, but my browser appears to be lagging a little bit. So if I suddenly kind of like cut out or I'm quiet for some reason, it's just some lag. I've never experienced it before. So again, anyone watching as well, please just ignore me. But hopefully it'll work. But yeah, super, super exciting. And so I was super grateful, Alex, that you did put together some clips that we will be watching, and
Right.
very much inspired by George, who was here last time, where we talked about podcasts specifically.
Mhm.
He kind of created a list of like clips that he thought were great, had some low-hanging fruit opportunities, and some that we called, in a nice way, high potential. Like there's a lot of things to be improved here. And so I would love to kind of get started with
Let's
some
go.
good examples. And I was thinking that hopefully you can walk us through them. And again, if I suddenly kind of just lag out or something, please just feel free to keep going, talk more about your own thoughts and experience with this kind of stuff. But we'll see if it works.
Cool.
All right, so here we have a video from Royal Bread. Can you tell us a bit, like starting off, like what is this brand? Like what made you, like how do you know about them? How did we end up about to watch this video?
Yeah, so they're actually a client of mine. These videos are not my videos, but these are the previous ads that they've been running. I was able to, because I was analyzing their account, which we do for all of our clients. We analyze the previous, winners, losers, what we should do, what we should not do. And I've pulled, I think, two great examples of what, in terms of editing, like a good example and a bad example. I don't know how these videos performed. Like maybe they did well. I don't know. I don't have that info, but I'm just gonna analyze the editing and give my thoughts on the editing side. But again, like I don't, maybe the bad editing, the bad edit performed better than the good edit. Sometimes it happens. We don't know, but with this disclaimer, we
You
can
know,
we can jump in.
that's the thing about content, right? You never know. Maybe the algorithm was having a good day. Maybe the content was good
Lots
enough.
of things. Yeah, lots of things. Maybe the audience was, on point. Like maybe just because when like pe- people that you're selling to, they're on the platforms, they don't necessarily care about the editing. Like, oh, this is interesting, or this product is exactly what I was looking for, or oh my gosh, I didn't know about this, but this would be great. They just click, and a lot of people happen to be clicking at that moment or at that time. Then the ad gets distributed to a large cohort of audience, and it does better and better and better. The algorithm picks it up, etc. So it happens. But like again, we're just gonna talk about the editing portion of it today.
Exactly. We're going to talk. That's the thing, you have to still hone your craft, even though like it has to be very much like, being in Hollywood. You can have these amazing actors, writers, producers, everything can be amazing. But yeah, you open the same day as Deadpool. Shit. It's like that was it, or whatever. So lots of things out of your control, even so. But fantastic. I was thinking, so I've tried to share my audio here. So I will try to just play it and we'll see, like you can tell me if it's too loud or if it sounds good.
Yeah, we'll
If it works, I think we can watch it. It's only 30 seconds and then maybe we can go through it together and you can talk us through your thoughts. Does that sound good?
Yeah, of course. Let's do it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so I will try play here, and again, hope it's not too loud for anyone.
Summer is here, and you don't want to be cutting carbs to fit in that.
That sounds good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Fantastic. All right, so we'll go.
Summer is here, and you don't want to be cutting carbs to fit in that swimsuit, do you? Don't worry, you can have both. Royal bread is a good for your gut health, low carb, high in fiber, protein packed option for all you health nuts. Believe me, I've tried to give up bread several times, but it only leaves me wanting more. But with this, you can enjoy carbs guilt-free. They've got bagels, rolls, bread, buns, and more. And I promise you it tastes good. EatRoyo.com so you can have your bikini and eat your bread too.
Nice.
Right off the bat, I'm just gonna say I just love the sound design on this one. The music does not have beats, which is super important when using other sound effects. Like when you squeeze the bread, there was a crunch sound. When they spread the cream cheese, on the bagel, there was sound effects. In between, there was some whooshes that I picked up. But besides that, like the sound does majority of the work here. And this ad is well crafted. It's only 30 seconds. It communicates, what the product is about and what the selling angle is. They try to sell this product as, hey, this is low carb option for high calorie bagels. So this is low calorie option. And the angle is that you can, look good in a bikini this summer if you eat this bread, which I think this was done well, executed well. No fancy transitions. Sound effects were also on a like a reasonable pitch. Sometimes when you download sound effects from whatever service you're using, the stock service, they're usually too loud. So you gotta like immediately do like a -6 or -10 decibels. Like you gotta bring it down so that it's in a reasonable audio level, because it does get in the way of if someone's speaking in the video. It does get into way. So that's what I loved. And again, sound design was great. The jump cuts I loved. They didn't use any fancy transitions. A lot of editors will do it, like anytime they change clips, they'll use these transitions. They'll use a pan or zoom in, zoom outs. My argument is, especially when editing ads, you want to keep it as simple as possible so the people who are watching can understand. If you could pull up the next video,
Yes, sir.
the bad example of Royo, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So the editor who edited that video did exactly opposite of what this editor did. And you'll see my points about sound design, about transitions, and the clip selection. Oh, the clip selection was also great on this one. But I think that's the most important thing when editing ads. If the editor is able to select the clips, put them in a sequence in a way that, hey, like, because when we're editing ads, we're trying to sell this product in 30 seconds, and it has to make sense. It has to sell the product in the selling angle that we came up with. So clip selection is extremely important.
Super, super interesting. I mean, you definitely sold me on like wanting to see here, like what will be the main difference? Like, will they go too hard?
You'll see.
You did a really good like cliffhanger here. So, okay, super excited to check this out. I will check.
Let's go.
All right, so we will go 3, 2, 1.
Healthier bagels that don't taste like with 70 to 80 calories, 10 grams of protein, 5 to 6 grams net carbs, baked fresh daily in Brooklyn, New York. It's just one of many insanely delicious low-carb, high-protein baked goods that are waiting for you from Royo. We have artisan bread, New York bagels, and burger buns. It's never been so easy to enjoy delicious bread and bagels while on a diet. Click on Shop Now to give it a try.
That was really interesting.
You see what I mean? So they added a ton of stuff, like transitions, sound effects, and the ad is like super fast too.
Yeah.
So like sometimes, like even I edit ads and I consume a lot of ads. Even for me, it was fast. Like so for a regular consumer of this ad, like I would have to. Well, I would argue I don't think although our attention spans are shorter, this was like even shorter than that. Like, I think a lot of people would be bouncing from that. This would be my argument. Again, I don't know how this performed, but especially this carousel,
Yeah.
The sound design, the sound effects were too loud for starters.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the transitions could have been avoided. There's like zoom in, zoom outs. There's light leak at the end.
Yeah.
I think they could be avoided because
Mm.
it's just too fast already, and then transitions already cut off the
Mm.
last part of the previous clip and the first few frames in the next clip. So
Yeah.
so the clips are already short, and when you add transitions, you're also covering more frames from those clips. This effect where the text is coming from like above, like coming from the top to bottom,
Yeah.
it just looks weird to me. I would not do that. If I'm gonna add an effect, I would probably do like a pop effect, or I would move it from the bottom so it doesn't cover the entire thing. It just does not look appealing to me as an editor. I would not do that. Let's see. I think clip selections is fine on this one, but the sound design, sound effects are too loud. And I pick up on a lot because I'm sensitive to these things. Like even the whooshes that they added on the background, the click at the end, even this carousel, like
doesn't hit it.
I don't know. It does not. First of all, it's again too fast. I don't know what I'm looking at. By the time I understand, it's gone. So I would probably like get rid of half of that carousel and just put like 3 images, but like I would just keep them for at least a second, so the audience can see. So like it's just going on and on and on. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's way too fast. And there's like this carousel scroll effect on it, which already eats away a couple frames of each photo anyway. So yeah, so many problems with this one. As an editor, it was really painful to watch.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. Like the other one, like if we hadn't just watched the good one, I think this is one of the most fun things about creative work is that you can learn so much and think so much, but suddenly somebody just does something and you're like, this is a genius way to convey information. So for instance, one thing that I thought of is that when it had these effects, it like if you take the audio, if you take how everything was like set up, it feels like it's a template that could be used for any purpose, like both visually and like and the audio, because the audio focuses on the pop of like, here comes the text. It's focused on the text and the transitions, whoosh, in that sense. But the other one had audio focus on the bread, where it's like,
yeah, that's perfect way to put it. Actually, perfect way to explain it. As an audience, I don't know what I'm supposed to focus on because there's sound effects everywhere, which is more important than the others. You're like spot on, like you were like a sniper there. Like, boom, the bread and the audio. Love the connection, man. Yeah, exactly. And also something I'm seeing, just realizing now, that the clips look washed out, and I know the reason for it. There's an export settings that I use to avoid it in Premiere. This was likely done in, I don't know which editing software they use, but I know how to get rid of that and bring the color back in Premiere. But now that I'm looking back, it does look washed out a little bit. Like less saturated, less contrast. And Premiere does that for some reason, I don't know, but we figured out a way to avoid that, so it's good. If you go back to the old one, you'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to colors. If you pull that up,
Summer's here, and you don't want to be cutting carbs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the colors are more vibrant.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously, this is more professionally shot specifically for this concept, but still, the colors look more washed out in the bad example than this one. This one was well put together, and as you see, like there's no crazy transitions, no effects on text, etc. And they kept it simple. I think this sells more to me. Like this is selling to me more than the other one. Because in the other ad, I don't know what I'm supposed to focus on. Like there's this effects, but like there's also clips in the background, but the sound is loud, but it's on everywhere, on every word. So I'm like, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to focus on? You know, it frustrates me, and I bounce and I scroll, move on to the next video. But I think these two are great examples. I try to pull these from the same brand so we could see like the difference of what good editing versus, you know, could be improved editing does to a video.
100%. I think like that I mean, that's also so motivating about like creative work, where it's like you have the same basic, you can have the same story, you can have the same footage, you can have the same whatever, but you can make a world of difference of these creative choices you do. And like, you know, one thing that my niche, if you will, of creative feedback is landing pages. And I love the landing pages for the reason that it's a great test of seeing, like, can this company communicate well to who they're selling to, and like, what is this product, who is it for? And I thought that was something that I also picked up on. One thing that I say again and again and again there is to keep things simple until you're an absolute master. Then you can do whatever you want. But like before you've absolutely nailed the basics, don't go crazy. Keep it simple. And one thing that I loved about this one, seeing the other one as well, was that this one, if we focus on the content of this story, it starts with a girl who is like looking at the bagel and her bikini. So immediately, like, and she's talking about like, what do you want? This is a story about outcomes and like what you want in life. And again, you know, we can have whatever opinion we want, but like, people do want to look good in a swimsuit. It's like it is what it is.
Right.
And so it's good for your gut health. It's low carb, high fiber. These are the terms that people think in. The other one was 80 calories, 8 grams fiber. You know, you have to. I studied biomedicine. I'm into fitness. I still am like, wait, maybe it's quite easy for me to know, like, oh, like 2 grams of protein in a serving is a little, 30 grams is a lot, like to that level. But like, wait, 8 grams of fiber, hang on a second. Okay, isn't it 25 per day, or, you know, whatever. Like, you know, and I don't have time for that, but it's like protein packed. Yeah, I got it. Okay, like that's, you know, I tried to give up bread several times. This is a story. I want more. Here's a feeling that she's conveying. I'm enjoying my life, you know. So all of these things, where the other one is just like and tastes good. Again, going back to the focus here.
It does feel like as if someone slapped on a template and then just pulled the clips. If you're the editor who's
Healthier
watching this, sorry, bro, but
we all start somewhere, you know, and whatever. We, you know, it can also be that, you know, they had like 15 minutes to do it, and then it's impressive. So, you know, like, as all creatives know, you know, but we also do have to like learn from creative work. But exactly right, and that's something that where I say about landing pages as well. If you use language and images and stuff that could be used for anyone, then it's like, then it's not as interesting. But if you look at the sound design, for instance, you can't use that bread sound for everyone. That's a sign that it's good, because it's specific. And so, but if it's just like pop of the text, oh, it's these transitions that have nothing to do with bread, but like this, like, oh, sliding bread across the table, you know, that's something that how bread works in our life and stuff. So, you know, these types of things. So yeah.
Bro, you gave better feedback than I did, actually.
No.
Sorry.
You picked these amazing clips. Like, this was so good to again see that the same fundamental product, you know, you can do a world of difference in understanding what someone wants out of bread. Imagine for like a more complex product. So that's
yeah. I thought these were great examples. We do have a few, but let's see which ones.
What should we do next?
I want to do one more that could be a bad example, and then I want to jump on a good example. So we could do
This is awesome.
Carpe, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So I will pull up Carpe. So can you tell us a bit about this company? How did you find this video? What's your connection to it?
This was random actually. So I was scrolling through ads and then I'm like, okay, this is a good ad, but could be executed better.
Yeah.
I put it in a bad category, but I obviously like nothing is good or bad in the creative world.
Yeah.
It either works or it doesn't work. That's how we think about this.
Sure.
But there are fundamentals of storytelling. If you understand those, you'll just make anything instantly better. So
100%. All right, super
watching
excited.
this will also refresh my memory because I don't necessarily remember this one.
Of course, we're gonna look at it. 36 seconds. Let's do it.
Fun facts about Carpe sweat products.
Number 1, it was created by sweaters for sweaters. Number 2, they have products for everywhere we sweat, like the face, scalp, underarms, just to name a few. And they're constantly developing more. Dermatologists love Carpe, and so do their patients. Number 3, Carpe is dedicated to finding the right sweat products for you. That's why they've got a 100% money-back guarantee, and they'll ship it to your door for free. You get sweat care that works for you without breaking the bank. Bonus fact, you can get up to 40% off with the code FUN. Click the link below to try Carpe today.
All right, walk us through it.
Yeah, let's go. So it does start too fast, so I couldn't even see what the products were. But again, maybe this was like a retargeting ad that already goes to an audience who knows about the brand, who maybe explored the brand and added some products to their carts but left. So it's likely that that's the case. But coming from a fresh perspective, to the eye, I would like to see the products a little longer. And they just sped up the clip. In this scene, the text is like white on white. I would probably change the background of the text when it's showing the scrolling. So I would probably change the background to some other color, like the blue or the orange, so that the text is more visible. I'm nitpicking, I know, but I'm just giving feedback as to what I would improve in this one. And there was no sound design. So I would probably add music that is relevant in the background. Maybe sound effects. I'm not too sure, but there was no music. I was just a guy speaking. And what's bugging me also is the text size. So the hook text is larger than the other ones. I know the reasons for it, but it's just like inconsistent. And then where they put the text, the position of the text is also different in every scene. So like my eyes are going like, okay, up and down. Where where am I jumping? Now it's down. It's gonna go up again. Sometimes in the middle. So I would, use like a guide so that all the text is in the same position in all the clips as much as possible. Sometimes it's not possible with the ads because maybe the important part of that clip is over there and you don't want the text to cover it, so you put the text somewhere else. But I would try to keep it as consistent as possible. But overall, I like the concept, and this is likely a retargeting ad. Don't have that info, unfortunately, but to summarize, I would add sound design, more consistent positioning of the text, and then as much as I can, I would be more consistent in the size of the text.
Totally. And like to roast myself a little bit as well. And again, speaking to that, often we know what's wrong. We just haven't had the time or the budget to fix it. But hearing and again, that's so clear. Do you watch, speaking of video editing, do you watch this VFX React channel, the Corridor Digital on YouTube?
Not on YouTube, but I think I've seen his clips on Instagram. I think he clips and then shares on his. I saw something like that. I don't know if it's him, but sometimes I'll come across.
Yeah, so this is 3 guys usually in a couch that might bring in Oscar, I mean, so these guys are amazing, and what they usually, so they tend to review VFX from big movies, usually sometimes smaller movies as well. But what they so often say is that, again, we understand, so often, you get these this footage and you're like, oh, you have a few weeks to put together this, and like it's a big team and stuff. Like it's so often about the amount of time and resources you have. Not that it's not a talented creative. So that should always be stated, that that's so often the case. But again, we have to focus on learning our craft even so. So, but again, to roast myself here.
And in the ad world, sorry to cut you off, but I was just gonna say, in the ad world, we have to move quick, because if we find a winner, we want to iterate on it quickly. And sometimes it's like 75% there, we just ship it. It's like 80% there, we just ship it. It's not 100%. There's stuff that we could improve, but we're pressed in time and we have other projects going on. When that happens, we just ship it. It doesn't really matter, the size of the text or the position, as long as it communicates what it does. As long as the clip selection is good and nothing is like glaringly horrible, then we just ship it. So that happens, and sometimes we're really operating on a strict timeline. More often than not, we're operating on a strict timeline in the ad world. They want to ship these as quickly as possible. Maybe they caught on a trend. There's TikTok trends last like 3 days. So like if they have the idea, if the trend is going on, we have to like finish it either today or like tomorrow by noon, so they could catch on the trend. So that happens. Totally understand. But when we do have time, we could focus on the fundamentals of storytelling.
100%. And I mean that goes back to, again, for me, what I would say is currently the one of the worst part about my own setup. It's the audio, and I really noticed it here as well, that the world of difference it makes when you can hear kind of the echo in his room, and it's like, and there is no sound design in itself, and he has bad, like it's not good audio in itself. Exactly.
Oh yeah, it was high pitch. I think they should reduce it like by at least 3 to 4 decibels to bring it down on the regular levels. I did hear high pitched audio. You're correct.
Exactly right. And again, that's a problem that I have as well. I am like in a room that has a lot of echo. I haven't yet bought a fantastic mic like yourself, so that is but that is next on my list, because I heard this tip that I've never really forgotten, that I think is very true, that it's actually way more painful for us to watch something with bad audio than like low res video. We react stronger to audio, like, ooh, this is off. But like we can handle like pixelated or like 720p. It's not the end of the world usually. But like bad audio, that irks us very strongly. And again, roasting myself, I assume that this current audio irks a lot of people. What I usually do, if it's not live, is that Adobe has a really cool product called Adobe Podcast that lets you run it through, and it really does improve the audio. So I can do that sometimes, like when I've recorded a Pactto, I want to make sure it's high production. If I'm sharing it on Twitter or something, then I run it through and it just helps the audio a lot. But of course, the really good thing is to just buy a good mic. and
I use the tool myself too. When they first came out, then they integrated it inside the Premiere Pro, so I don't even leave the app now. So there's an audio enhancing option. AI does the thing, and you still have to do modifications afterwards. But yeah, it is a great tool. But yeah, to your point, if you were to ask me, hey, I'm gonna record video content, what should I focus on? I'd say good audio quality and good lighting, and then the third would be the camera, because the audio, like the sound design, the sound itself, and the lighting, it makes all the difference. You could be recording with an iPhone. Exactly. It'll still be high quality if you're using a high quality mic and if you have good lighting. But if you just got the camera but haven't dialed in the audio and the lighting, it's not going to look good. Not going to look as good as if it would if you did that vice versa.
100%. Awesome video to watch. What should we go after next?
I'm thinking, let's do Bleem. So on the good examples, we could do Bleem. I think I remember, this is also a video that I found when I was scrolling the ads manager. But if we watch it, I think they kept it simple. That was my point. Because a lot of times editors will start their careers thinking, hey, I should just add more to get more. It's actually, for the most part, it's not the case. It's actually the opposite for the most part. adding more stuff, you're complicating it. You're actually driving the viewer away from what they should focus on.
100%. Very, very interesting. All right, another one. Let's see here what we think. Let's do it.
Cool. Yeah, what I like about this one is no one has said a word, but you understood everything. So there was nobody talking, but like the clip selection did the heavy work. There was there was a couple transition tricks, but it didn't bother me. So I added this in a good category. As a dude, it is important for me to see something and understand what this product does, because I'm so bad at these, with these products, like skincare products, makeup products, any kind of self-care products. I'm just so bad at it, and I don't, I want to be able to understand it.
Like you're shining. Like it's.
we use the same bar of soap everywhere. So that's as far as my skincare knowledge goes. But again, it's really important for me to understand what this product does. And the selling angle was, hey, stop using razors and you just use this product. There's use cases here. There's before and after, cleverly placed. And I understand what this does, how easy it is to use. They didn't have an offer, but they kept it simple. And I like the hook because it's like a very nasty way of using the razor, and everybody can relate to. Everybody who uses razors could relate to. So I love the hook, love the selling points. They kept it simple. They haven't used a voiceover, so no one is talking. So the clips and some text overlays did the heavy lifting on this one. But they sold me, so I now understand the product. I know it's much better than lasers. All I have to do is check it out and to see if it's in my budget. I just liked it. It's a great example of a direct response video ad.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing that I thought was very interesting was that I was first confused, and then I got it. So I didn't understand what the product was. Like I was confused, and then here I got it. So I think what confused me was that like this was kind of like such an extreme example of hair where it's like this doesn't seem to be the type of hair that thing is supposed to remove. Like here you're probably supposed to do a trimmer and then use whatever like regular, like, because like who shaves like that? I've never seen anyone shave that like that with like that long hair. And so here, say hello to Bleem, and then this was quite a long text, and this was so undescriptive. I'm like, what is this thing? So Bleem Hair Eraser is the new go-to hair removal. I was reading still didn't really get it. Okay, look at their skin. Okay, something about legs. Okay, this is probably, but before it was primarily shaving her armpits.
Yeah, they could have introduced the product earlier. You're right.
Exactly. So if there's anything that I would say, it was like, this is great, but put that earlier. Like, go straight into it. This is a thing that looks weird, but it's for your leg. Okay, all right. Tell me that a little bit faster, I think. But from here, I get it. And what I really loved about it as well is that it's what I think that more products should do is to help us understand how it fits into our lives. So it's like, you used to use a razor, throw that away. You've been considering laser, don't do it. Here, skip these ones, and then you're like, oh, this is how it will fit into my life. Very, very helpful. So overall, I really liked it as well. But I was actually a bit confused in the beginning because it didn't quite map in my mind.
Yeah, that when I found this video for the first time, I'm like, well, this is a good edit, but like, what is this product? So now, because I've seen it a few times now that I was aware of the product. But that's right. I probably would put these clips, like this one, for example, in the hook or right after the hook.
Yeah.
When they say, hey, say hello to, this amazing tool, I would probably put that, because you don't understand, because it doesn't look like anything like that would remove, hair from your body. It does not look anything like that. It looks like a soap bar to me.
Exactly.
So
exactly right. So if you end it there or whatever, or middle or whatever, like, yeah, totally. Like
I would probably swap the clips. I would introduce the product use shots early. Now that I'm thinking,
yeah,
that is right. But yeah, but this would be a good editing example, like good sound design. The music was,
cool.
they used like a high upbeat music, which didn't bother me.
Cool.
I think it fits to this narrative too. I like the text effects.
Yeah.
And everything, and the colors too. I think the colors also matched with the product's original color, so it was good.
Super nice. I really liked it. And of course, I want to be very respectful of your time. I know that you need to head, so I just wanted to kind of bring it back for the last 2 minutes here and just say a huge thank you to you, Alex, for joining us today. I appreciate it so much. It was so nice to meet you. I know that you're also doing some upcoming lives yourself. If you want, would love to hear kind of the pitch there and where we can find you if people want to find you after this.
For now, best way to find me is actually on Twitter. If you go on Twitter and search for DecimaLabs, that's me. That's Alex, the video editor. And I will be releasing those videos on X and YouTube, but I have not created a YouTube channel yet. We recorded 3 episodes, but haven't been edited, and the back end is not quite done yet. But if you fancy following me, Twitter would be the great start, and I'll announce everything that I'm doing currently on my Twitter account anyway. So yeah, would love to see you guys there.
Fantastic. And again, like having George on 2 weeks ago, Alex on today, like if you've enjoyed this episode, you're going to love this episode with Alex and George. And just want to say a quick thank you again to Pactto for making this possible, powering these videos. It's so much fun to bring on amazing people and talk about stuff that we love doing. And again, if anyone wants to try it out, you can download Pactto for free to do video feedback to your team, to other people, help them do a better job, learn and create faster. You can download it for free, record up to 10 minutes completely free, and use incredible markup tools and create action lists, blog, tweets from those videos in just seconds. So thanks again so much, Alex, for coming on today, and can't wait to see you more soon.
Lies, thanks for having me, man.
My pleasure, my friend. All right, take
Have
care.
a good rest of your day.
All right, bye.